Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the absolute most fascinating case studies in modern marketing, digital media, and, as we're going to uncover a little later on, artificial intelligence. We are unpacking the smart dream ecosystem. And honestly, this isn't just about athletic apparel. It's literally a blueprint for the future of interactive storytelling. I'm super excited to guide you through this, so let's jump right in. To start off, I want you to ask yourself a somewhat crazy question. What if your clothing was actually a broadcast channel? For decades, we've treated what we wear and what we watch as two totally separate things. But what if the threads on your back were directly engineered to be the physical starting point for an entire digital media empire? So, here is our roadmap for today. 1. The wearable media revolution. 2. The launch collection. 3. The Veritas FC Capsule. 4. The digital soul. And 5. The generative AI blueprint. Let's start with Section 1, the wearable media revolution, redefining athletic identity. This idea really boils down to the brand's core philosophy, two worlds, one vision. It's this concept of completely collapsing the physical and the digital. The physical jersey itself acts as a tangible core, engineered for glory, really, which then directly feeds into what they call its digital soul. And that soul is the Smart Dream, Smart Vision YouTube channel. So the physical product acts as a real-world gateway, driving fans to this unrivaled visual content, which is fueled by the very DNA of the jersey they're wearing. They aren't just selling shirts, they are launching a completely interactive visual ecosystem. And all of this builds into what the creators perfectly describe as an ecosystem of unstoppable momentum. It's like a giant marketing flywheel. Fans buy the physical innovation, right? The stunning jerseys. Wearing it builds this incredible community pride and high-spirited energy. That pride then drives them right into digital engagement, tuning into the Smart Vision channel to actually see their specific jersey story unfold on screen. And then, that highly engaging visual content loops right back around, driving even more desire for the physical product. It's an incredibly well-engineered cycle. Moving right along to Section 2, the launch collection, 3 distinct visual identities. Okay, so to kickstart a flywheel like that, you obviously need incredible physical products. The launch collection features this initial trio of jerseys, the World Cup, the Pyramid, and the Traditional. Just looking at them, you can immediately see how beautifully diverse these aesthetics are. We've got the crashing ocean waves, the really stark geometric gold on navy, and then that rich, heritage-inspired crimson and navy. And this collection was methodically mapped out. If we break down the design DNA, the World Cup jersey represents the challenger archetype. It uses deep ocean and surf white colors with a signature rising sun collar, and its core mantra is our dream. Then you have the Pyramid jersey, which is the emperor, utilizing obsidian and antique gold with a hieroglyph weave and a very bold mantra, conquer. Finally, the Traditional represents the ancestor. That one features a heritage navy and crimson colorway, a unique traditional cut, and the mantra identity. So we have 3 totally distinct visual identities, but they all share one unified standard of excellence. Which brings us to Section 3, the Veritas FC Capsule, worn by Kazuma 10. Now we're pivoting to a highly curated capsule drop. These specific physical threads are explicitly engineered for digital spaces. We have the anime edition, which features this amazing visceral manga-style artwork. Then there's the Automotive edition, functioning almost like a racing teen's speed unit. And finally, the Retro 2000s edition, which really leans into that classic, nostalgic styling. The DNA of this specific capsule really centers around its optimal vibe. The anime jersey is perfectly designed to exude main character energy through kinetic, hand-drawn brushstrokes and bold manga titling. The Automotive jersey, on the other hand, is all about pushing the limits, using carbon fiber graphics and motorsport technical typography to feel super aggressive and technical. And the Retro 2000s jersey claims timeless authority through clean structural piping and a very classic varsity serif font. Let's look at how this plays out digitally in Section 4, the digital soul, Smart Dream, Smart Vision. So how exactly does this clothing actually become a broadcast channel? Well, every stitch on the physical jersey literally translates to an edit on the screen. The manga artwork and dynamic strokes woven into the anime jersey directly power the YouTube channel's first pillar, kinetic motion. This channel delivers high-energy montage edits, kinetic typography, and visual storytelling that treats real-world sports like a high-stakes manga battle. The physical shirt is basically the storyboard for the digital broadcast. And this brilliantly translates to the other styles as well. The dark woven carbon texturing and racing stripes of the Automotive edition directly dictate the channel's second pillar, high-octane edits. We're talking rapid-fire cuts, hyperlapse videography, and precision-engineered audio design. Basically, if you were wearing the Speed Unit jersey, you are watching adrenaline-fueled hypercar-paced content. The boundary between what you wear and what you watch is completely collapsed. And clearly, the market responded. This vision reached massive, massive scale. We're talking over 1.2 million subscribers on the digital broadcast, with live viewers hitting the 350K mark just for these limited capsule drops. I mean, it looks like an absolute masterclass in global multi-million-dollar digital marketing. But here is where we completely shift gears. Section 5, the Generative AI Blueprint, the meta-narrative reveal. Okay, it is time to pull back the curtain. The million subscribers, the Kazuma 10 persona, those intricate matrices of design DNA we just looked at. Smart Dream is not a stealth campaign by Nike or Adidas. It is actually a final examination project brief from University Selangor, Unicel. That's right, all of this was a university assignment for a course called Fundamental of Generative Artificial Intelligence. This entire high-spirited aesthetic, the diverse jerseys, the incredibly complex marketing flywheels, it was all meant to be completed by groups of just 5 to 7 students over 4 weeks. Their task? Build a phygital ecosystem entirely from scratch using AI. No way, right? To actually build this ecosystem, the students had to demonstrate real mastery over several different AI domains. The brief explicitly required them to understand natural language processing, or NLP. They had to explain how AI actually reads video metadata, things like titles, descriptions, and tags, so that their simulated YouTube channel could be properly indexed by search engines and then recommended to external audiences based on click-through rates. So they weren't just making pretty pictures, they were fundamentally engineering the digital algorithm. And on top of that, the project required auditory content. Students had to use audio generation tools, specifically Suno AI, to produce fully original music and audio branding. Every single group member was responsible for generating high-energy pop rock or hip-hop theme songs. And they even generated the lyrics using Gemini or ChatGPT, all to give the Smart Dream brand its signature energetic, dynamic vibe. The students followed a very strict generative workflow to make this happen. Step 1, ideation and structuring, using ChatGPT or Gemini to actually build the marketing concepts. Step 2, physical branding. They fired up Midjourney, Adobe Firefly, or Canva AI to design those intricate jersey lockups we saw, ensuring they included visual elements that linked perfectly back to the YouTube channel. And step 3, auditory content, flushing out the brand's entire soundscape using Suno AI. Just look at the required deliverables for a single project group. In 4 weeks, they had to generate 6 highly detailed jersey mockup images, YouTube thumbnails, a complete marketing content structure, 2 original songs per member, and even prompts to generate slide decks, infographics, and an explainer exactly like the one we're doing right now. The brief demanded that the direction be highly positive, dynamic, and aesthetic. And as we saw in the first half of our time today, the AI tools, guided by these students, absolutely nailed that high-spirited vision. Which brings us to our final and, honestly, perhaps most important question of the day. If a group of university students, using highly accessible generative AI tools over just 4 weeks, can conceptualize, design, and simulate a highly cohesive, visually stunning, multi-channel phygital campaign that literally looks like it cost millions of dollars, how is generative AI going to disrupt your industry tomorrow? The barrier to entry for world-class branding has essentially evaporated overnight. The Smart Dream ecosystem isn't just a clever university project, it's a massive wake-up call for all of us. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to keep learning and keep exploring this incredible.
Imagine walking down the street, right?
Yeah.
And someone stopped you,
Yeah.
but instead of asking, where you bought the shirt you're wearing, they ask for the link to the 4K blockbuster movie it's currently starring in.
I mean, that sounds completely insane, like pure science fiction.
Right, because we are so used to categorizing our world. A shirt is, well, it's just a piece of fabric you put on your body to keep warm.
Exactly. It's functional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a screen is a device you look at to be entertained. But what happens when that traditional categorization is just completely shattered?
Oh, it changes everything.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
What if a piece of clothing wasn't just woven cotton or polyester, but an active, living portal to an entire digital universe? Today, we're looking at how a physical garment is basically becoming the literal protagonist of a high-octane cinematic experience.
It's a fundamental rewiring of how we perceive apparel and media, honestly. We are moving away from this binary idea of simply wearing a piece of clothing. And we are moving toward an era where we actively participate in the narrative that the clothing broadcasts to the world. We are completely blurring the lines between the physical object and the digital realm.
And that is exactly what we are getting into today. Welcome to the deep dive. The mission for you today, listening to this, is to unpack a truly groundbreaking case study in modern marketing, apparel, and generative artificial intelligence.
Yes, the AI aspect is huge here.
It is massive. We have this incredibly detailed stack of source documents in front of us that map out the launch of the Smart Dream brand ecosystem.
It's a fascinating blueprint.
It really is. Specifically, we're going to examine the Veritas FC physical jersey collection and its explosive, highly dynamic companion, which is the Smart Dream Smart Vision YouTube channel. Okay, let's unpack this, because the strategy outlined in these documents, it completely changes the standard retail playbook.
It does. And to set the analytical framework right from the start, it's really crucial to understand that this case study is not just about selling merchandise.
Definitely not.
Right. Like, we are not talking about printing a clever slogan on a blank t-shirt and calling it a day. What we are examining today is really a masterclass in the phygital revolution.
Phygital, yeah.
Yeah, that term, phygital.
Yeah.
It represents the deliberate collapsing of the boundary between what we wear out there in the physical, tangible world and what we consume in the digital space.
So they're completely connected.
Intimately connected. In the Smart Dream ecosystem, the physical item is no longer the end product that finalizes the transaction. It is merely the entry ticket to a much larger ongoing media experience.
The entry ticket, I love that.
Yeah.
I think that is the perfect way to frame it. But, before we can fully grasp the wild digital universe they've built, we kind of have to look at the physical artifacts that fuel it.
We have to start with the hardware. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So the source material lays out the first 3 jerseys engineered for this brand, specifically for a team identity they call Veritas FC. And they refer to this initial drop as the launch collection matrix.
The matrix.
Yeah, the matrix. And reading through these design specifications, these are definitely not your standard Sunday League football kits.
No, they're not. And the word matrix is key there. They haven't just thrown 3 random designs at a wall to see what sticks.
Right.
They have codified 3 highly distinct visual identities. But they are all structurally united under one Smart Dream standard of excellence. They're targeting very, very specific psychological profiles.
So let's walk through the psychology of these designs, because the level of intention here is just fascinating to me. Let's start with Designs 01. They call it the World Cup Edition.
Okay, yes.
And the psychological archetype attached to this jersey is the challenger.
Which is brilliant. If we look at the sociology of sports and competition, the challenger archetype is perhaps the most universally resonant.
Everyone loves an underdog.
Exactly. It's the underdog. It's the disruptor. It's the entity that arrives on the global stage with something to prove. And the visual language they have engineered for this specific jersey reflects that perfectly.
Yeah, the documentation describes the colorway as deep ocean and surf white. But it's the specific structural details that really stand out to me. It features a rising sun collar.
Oh, that's such a great touch.
Right. The notes say this is meant to symbolize a new dawn in sportswear, like a literal and metaphorical breaking over the horizon.
I love that.
And then spanning across the entire front of the chassis, there's this high-impact oceanic globe and wave graphic. It's described as a massive, unstoppable wave crashing right across the chest. And the official mantra for this specific jersey is our dream.
What's fascinating here is how they are utilizing elemental imagery to evoke a psychological state.
Say more about that.
Well, when you incorporate a massive crashing wave into the physical chassis of a garment, you are communicating an unstoppable natural force. The deep ocean blue conveys the sense of immense hidden depth and stability.
Right, like the depths of the sea.
Exactly. While the surf white acts as a kinetic disruptor, it perfectly aligns with global ambition. When a consumer puts on that challenger jersey, they are stepping into a mindset that says, we are a force of nature.
Oh, wow. It's very aggressive, but in a very natural, almost organic way.
Exactly.
But let's say you don't resonate with the underdog. Let's say you don't want to be the challenger. You want to be the ruler. That brings us to Jersey 02. the Pyramid Edition. And the archetype here is the Emperor.
And this is where the brand shifts from that organic elemental ambition to projecting structured absolute authority.
The visual shift is so dramatic. The core colorway completely abandons the bright ocean blues. Now we are looking at obsidian and antique gold.
So heavy, so regal.
Yeah, and anchoring the front torso is this incredibly bold architectural pyramid graphic, which the notes state represents indestructible foundations.
Yeah.
But the detail that I found is completely mind-blowing is the integration of an intricate hieroglyph weaved directly into the fabric.
Right, specifically into the numbering, isn't it?
Yes, integrated directly into the gold numbering on the back of the jersey. They are literally taking ancient monumental history and weaving it into modern athletic wear. The mantra for this one is just simply conquer.
We have to consider the historical weight of those design choices. I mean, obsidian, it's a dark, volcanic glass.
Right.
Paired with antique gold, it immediately signals premium status and wealth. But the hieroglyphs are the really brilliant touch here.
So unique.
By integrating ancient text into the gold numbering, they turn a standard sports jersey into a modern artifact. You put on that obsidian and gold, you feel the weight of that architectural pyramid on your chest, and you immediately feel a sense of historical prestige.
It's your royalty or something.
Exactly. You aren't just participating in a sport, you are building an empire. It is a masterclass in projecting dominance through textile design.
It really is.
Yeah.
And just when you think you have a handle on the brand's aesthetic,
Yeah.
they pivot entirely again for the third jersey in the launch matrix. 03 is the traditional edition. And the archetype here is the ancestor.
This is where they actively defy standard athletic templates. They move away from the aggressive future and that monumental past we just talked about, and they ground the collection in cultural heritage.
The colorway here is heritage navy and crimson. But it is the silhouette itself that breaks the mold. The documentation details an elegant, culturally rooted Cheongsam-style collar with a knot closure.
Which is incredible.
You almost never see that kind of structural tailoring on a modern football pitch.
No, never.
And spanning the center panel is a crimson geometric Japanese pattern. It's designed as a tribute to timeless craftsmanship. The mantras for this jersey are identity and Wareizan Identity Kita, which the source notes translate to a celebration of heritage, identity, and who we are.
It is a brilliant counterbalance to the other two. Think about it. The challenger looks outward to conquer the globe. The emperor looks downward from the top of the pyramid. But the ancestor looks inward.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
The Cheongsam collar and the geometric patterns demand a certain level of respect and posture from the wearer. It honors the past while maintaining an aesthetic dominance suitable for the modern era.
Thinking about this whole launch collection matrix, I keep coming back to a specific analogy. It's like choosing your character class in a massive multiplayer video game.
Oh, totally.
Right. When you, as a consumer, approach this brand, you are practically forced to make a narrative choice. Are you the challenger riding the wave? Are you the emperor building the pyramid? Or are you the ancestor carrying the heritage? I mean, which one would you choose?
It is a highly effective psychological hook because it forces the consumer to self-identify before they even make a purchase. They aren't just browsing fabrics, they are browsing identity.
Browsing identities, yeah.
By codifying these distinct visual archetypes, the brand allows the wearer to project their own internal narrative, whether that is dominance, prestige, or cultural pride, simply by putting on a shirt. They have elevated the sports jersey from a piece of utility equipment into a highly personalized psychological statement. So smart. But they didn't stop there. And this is where the ecosystem starts to get really granular. They establish those three broad foundational archetypes, but then the source documents outline a highly specific tripart capsule lineup built entirely around a narrative protagonist.
Yes, the capsule collection.
Yeah. They introduce a persona, a player character, if we stick to the gaming analogy, called Kazuma 10.
This is the visual capsule lineup. They take the broad strokes of the launch matrix and they just hyper-focus them for incredibly distinct, passionate subcultures.
Right. So we have jerseys 4, 5, and 6 all designed under this Kazuma 10 persona. Let's break down the aesthetic engineering here because they are targeting very specific fan bases. Number 4 is the anime edition.
Oh, this one is wild.
It's crazy. The archetype here is the future. And the ethos, as literally stated in the documents, is main character energy.
Which is such a current concept. Main character energy has become such a pervasive cultural touchstone, especially online. It's the desire to feel like the center of the narrative universe, to feel kinetic and important. and they translated that feeling directly into the fabric. The notes describe visceral, full-color, manga-style artwork woven directly into the core chassis of the shirt.
Woven right in.
Yeah, we are talking hand-drawn brushstrokes, aggressive visual effects that mirror high-speed animation frames, and bold manga titling across the back that reads Saka Damashi, which translates to soccer soul. It is designed to turn every movement the wearer makes into an explosive frame of animation.
The mechanics of how that works visually are quite clever. By utilizing aggressive brushstrokes and speed lines, the kind you see in Japanese manga to denote rapid movement, the static fabric appears kinetic.
It looks like it's moving even when it's still.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even when the wearer is standing completely still, the jersey implies explosive forward momentum. It is a loud design, but it is incredibly precise in its targeting of the anime and manga subculture.
Absolutely. Yeah. So from the hyperkinetic future, we shift gears to number 5, the Automotive edition. The archetype here is the fast. The design ethos is speed, precision, power. The documents describe this jersey as being engineered like a track weapon for those living in the red line.
And the visual cues are pulled directly from the world of high-performance motorsport.
Yeah, it features a dark, woven carbon fiber texturing inspired by hypercar aerodynamics. It has this unmistakable checkered racing stripe tearing right across the hem.
Very classic racing aesthetic.
Yeah, and it utilizes a tactical typography that reads JP01 Speed Unit, which acts to declare the wearer as part of the Veritas Racing Division. Now, I have to push back a little bit here just to ground this in reality for a second.
Okay, let's hear it.
Does a woven carbon fiber pattern actually make a soccer jersey perform better on the pitch? Or is this just pure aesthetic adrenaline? Are they just slapping race car graphics on a shirt and calling it innovation?
Well, it's a highly valid question. Does a carbon fiber visual texture reduce wind resistance on a football pitch, or make the wearer literally run faster? Scientifically, no.
Right.
But we have to look at the psychological phenomenon of enclothed cognition.
Enclothed cognition.
Yes. This is the idea that the clothes we wear actually influence our psychological processes and our behavioral tendencies.
Oh, wow. So feeling fast actually matters.
Exactly. The physical engineering here is uncompromising in its intent. What the Smart Dream ecosystem proves is that true aesthetic dominance is not about achieving a universal, bland appeal that offends no one.
Right. Trying to please everyone pleases no one.
Exactly. It's about capturing highly specific, intensely passionate subcultures, the anime fanatic, the motorsport junkie. By putting a carbon fiber weave and a checkered stripe on a jersey, you are tapping into the psychological trigger of a motorsport fan.
It's like flipping a switch in their brain.
Precisely. It is psychological armor. It's not about making the fabric faster. It's about making the wearer feel faster, feel more precise, and feel deeply connected to their specific passion while on the pitch.
Psychological armor. That makes perfect sense. It really bridges the gap between the aesthetic and the athletic performance.
It does.
And finally, to balance out the extreme future of the anime kit and the extreme speed of the automotive kit, we have number 6, the Retro 2000s edition. And the archetype is the timeless.
This is a fascinating inclusion, I think, because it relies so heavily on cyclical nostalgia.
Oh, nostalgia is huge right now. The aesthetic here is unapologetically nostalgic, and the documents describe it as a masterclass in restraint.
Very clean.
Yes, very clean and classic. It utilizes unbroken, minimalist structural piping, framing a deep navy chassis. It uses a classic varsity serifont for the numbering, and a structured vintage collar profile. The optimal vibe they are going for here is timeless authority.
The resurgence of Y2K and 2000s aesthetics is a massive driver in current fashion.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Everywhere. By including a timeless retro edition, they're acknowledging that for a significant portion of the consumer base, aesthetic dominance is found in the past. The structural piping and varsity fonts evoke a sense of established legacy. It provides a grounded, classic option within a very avant-garde lineup.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting.
All right.
You buy the psychological armor, you put on the Kazuma 10 anime jersey, you feel that kinetic main character energy, or you put on the automotive kit and feel the precision of a hypercar. In a traditional retail model, the transaction ends the moment you walk out of the store or open the shipping box.
Right. You buy the shirt, you own the shirt.
Exactly. You go play soccer, that's it. But in the Smart Dream era, the physical jersey is only half the experience. The source documents make it explicitly clear. Every single stitch in this apparel was engineered as a storytelling canvas for a dedicated digital broadcast.
This is the crucial leap. This is where we cross the bridge from physical product to digital media platform. The physical jersey is merely the hardware. The digital broadcast is the software that runs on it.
We are officially entering the digital realm. Alongside the physical clothing drop, the brand launched the Smart Dream Smart Vision YouTube channel. And their explicit mantra for this channel is just so cool. We aren't just outfitting the body, we are igniting the vision.
It is a phenomenal statement of intent. They are telling the consumer that the apparel is dormant until it is activated by the digital narrative.
Activated by the narrative. I love that. And they are not just posting standard, shaky smartphone vlogs from a Sunday league game. They aren't just uploading boring product commercials showing someone stretching in a gym.
No.
The source documents detail a strict mandate to deliver high-fidelity cinematic content that entirely transcends standard sports media. They're using cutting-edge visual effects, VFX, to literally make the jersey patterns come alive on screen in pulse-pounding 4K resolution.
It's incredible to visualize.
Right, so those oceanic waves on the World Cup jersey. On the YouTube channel, you see them actually crashing and cresting in high definition. The gold hieroglyphs on the pyramid jersey. You see them glowing, shifting, and unlocking like an ancient puzzle in a cinematic edit.
That is just brilliant.
Imagine buying a band t-shirt and then discovering the band directed an entire blockbuster movie just to explain the specific artwork on your chest.
That is a perfect analogy. And if we look at the metrics and the overarching targets they set for this channel, the trajectory of the strategy is incredibly dynamic.
Yeah, let's talk about those targets.
Well, the goal listed in the documentation is not a simple conversion metric like, sell X number of shirts per quarter. The stated targets are visual dominance and total immersion.
Visual dominance.
Wow. They are consciously engineering a 360-degree fan experience. The intent is for these physical designs to be recognized globally on the street, not just because they are aesthetically pleasing, but because they are fueled by viral, high-production storytelling on the Smart Vision channel.
It turns the consumer into a walking billboard. But a billboard for a narrative, not just a corporation. If you are wearing the anime jersey and someone asks about the wild manga graphic, you don't just say, oh, I bought it online. You say, you have to see the anime battle they animated for this specific jersey on YouTube.
Right. It creates unstoppable organic momentum.
Exactly. Which leads us to how they actually executed this grand vision. Because having a great idea for a digital ecosystem is one thing, but actually blasting it into the cultural stratosphere takes absolute precision.
Execution is the differentiator. Always. You can have the most innovative product in the world, but without a structured deployment strategy, it will just vanish into the noise of the internet. Their activation timeline is highly structured and designed to build compounding hype.
Yeah, the source documents outline a very specific three-phase activation timeline to engineer this momentum. Phase 1 happens on day 1. They call it the reveal. This is the physical unveiling of the World Cup, pyramid, and traditional kits. It involves dropping high-resolution lookbooks.
So they lead with the physical.
Right. The entire focus of day 1 is establishing the physical artifacts in the real world.
Setting the baseline of desire, they are letting the consumer digest the visual archetypes before introducing the digital narrative.
Exactly. Then, just 48 hours later, phase 2 hits on day 3. They call this the premiere. The Smart Vision channel officially goes live, but they don't just quietly upload a video and hope the algorithm picks it up. They host a live premiere of a cinematic trailer featuring the jerseys in action.
This is the exact moment the physical chassis meets the digital stage.
Boom. Right there.
And this is where the highly specific subcultures we discussed earlier are activated. The anime fans, the motorsport fans, they are drawn from the physical aesthetic to the digital broadcast.
Because phase 3, which begins on day 7 and continues indefinitely, is the content drop. The brand releases weekly visual content that is specifically aligned with the individual jersey themes. To manage this, they built these highly stylized channel pillars to ensure the video production matched the aesthetic of the gear perfectly.
Let's examine those pillars because the media production strategies detailed here are fascinating. They are tailoring the pacing and editing of the video content to match the psychological profile of the jersey.
It's so meticulous. So pillar first is dedicated to kinetic motion. This pillar is tailored specifically for the Fight for the Glory anime jersey, the Kazuma 10 Future Edition. The production notes dictate the use of high-energy montage edits, kinetic typography, and visual storytelling that treats real-world sports footage like a high-stakes manga battle.
Oh, that's so cool.
So you are watching a real human athlete kick a football, But the editing, the speed ramping, and the visual effects make it look like a finishing move in an anime.
It demands explosive screen time. They are using editing techniques to simulate the adrenaline rush of reading an action manga. Quick cuts, exaggerated motion blur, and high contrast color grading.
Then you have pillar second, which is built for the Automotive jersey. This is the high-octane edits pillar. The speed, precision, and power ethos of the carbon fiber jersey translates directly into the video pacing.
Right, mirroring the car aesthetics.
The documents detail the use of rapid-fire cuts, hyperlapse videography, and precision-engineered audio design built specifically for adrenaline junkies. The on-screen graphics literally mimic RPM gauges and G-force trackers while the player is sprinting down the pitch.
It is sensory overload, but highly targeted sensory overload. By using hyperlapse videography, where the camera moves over long distances while capturing a time lapse, they create a dizzying sense of speed that perfectly complements the speed unit typography on the jersey.
So what are the metrics of success for this massive multi-tiered ecosystem? They're certainly not playing small. The live dashboards referenced in the source material show them targeting over 1.2 million subscribers for the channel and boasting over 350,000 live viewers for their premiere events.
Huge numbers.
Yeah, and the primary call to action for the brand isn't buy now. The entire ecosystem runs on a different phrase: wear the dream, watch the vision.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, what they have designed here is a perfect self-sustaining feedback loop. Think about the mechanics of how this drives consumer behavior.
Okay, walk me through it.
You have high-retention visual media on YouTube, these kinetic, high-octane edits that people want to watch, purely for entertainment. That digital media drives a massive desire to own the physical product that stars in the videos.
Right.
Then, the fans purchase and wear those visually stunning jerseys out in the real world. Because they are wearing the physical innovation, they internalize that high-spirited, dynamic energy of the brand identity. They feel that sense of community pride.
And then what do?
And what does that pride compel them to do? It drives them right back to their screens to tune into the Smart Vision broadcast to see their specific jersey's story unfold in the next weekly drop. It is a perpetual motion machine of brand engagement. The physical fuels the digital, and the digital fuels the physical.
It is the absolute holy grail of modern marketing. It is a hyper-professional, multi-million-dollar brand strategy.
Yeah.
When you read through these documents, it looks exactly like something Nike or Adidas would spend 2 years and $100 million developing in a secret research lab with an army of global ad agencies.
It certainly possesses the structural integrity, the aesthetic polish, and the strategic foresight of a top-tier global campaign. The integration of physical product lines with high-fidelity digital content pillars is incredibly sophisticated.
Well, here is the detail that completely recontextualized this entire project for me. We have spent this time analyzing this incredible hyper-professional, smart dream ecosystem. The visual matrices, the cinematic YouTube pillars, the 4K visual effects, the psychological archetype.
Yes, the conceptual execution is flawless.
It is flawless. And it is entirely the blueprint for a university final exam project.
I'm sorry, excuse me, a final exam.
You heard me correctly, all of this. The Veritas FC jerseys, the Deep Ocean colorways, the Smart Vision YouTube channel, the intricate Kazuma 10 lore. It is a groundbreaking project created entirely by students at University Selangor Unisol in Malaysia.
That is genuinely astounding. The level of professional polish suggested in the documentation led me to believe this was a heavily funded corporate startup.
It is wild. We are actually looking at the project brief for a university course called UCD1112, Fundamental of Generative Artificial Intelligence.
Wow.
And this isn't just an insular computer science class for programmers. The brief explicitly lists that the students collaborating on this project come from diverse diploma programs ranging from business management to administrative management, Islamic studies, digital graphic design, photography technology, information technology, multimedia industry, civil engineering, and library management.
That is an incredibly diverse interdisciplinary cohort. Bringing students from civil engineering, Islamic studies, and digital design into one ecosystem perfectly mirrors the cross-functional reality of running a modern global brand.
The objective of the course, set by their lecturers Mr. Modamir bin Abdullah and Siti Noor Baizur Zawali, requires these students to step directly into the roles of digital marketers and fashion entrepreneurs. The goal is to use generative AI to build this exact modern business ecosystem from the ground up in a matter of weeks.
Okay, This revelation completely shifts our analytical lens. The level of innovation here isn't just in the cleverness of the brand concept itself, it is in the aggressive, practical application of the technology. How exactly are they utilizing generative AI to power an ecosystem of this magnitude?
It is embedded in the DNA of every single phase of the project. Let's start with the visual artifacts. You remember those stunning jerseys we discussed? The deep ocean crashing wave, the obsidian pyramid, the kinetic anime brushstrokes.
Of course.
The students are utilizing AI image generation tools like Midjourney, Adobe Firefly, and Canva AI to design these high-fidelity sports and esports mock-up jerseys. The AI is actually generating the complex visual assets based on the students' prompts. But the priest takes it a step further into functional utility.
Okay, how so?
It explicitly requires the students to ensure the physical jersey features visual elements that act as a funnel to direct buyers to visit the YouTube channel. They're using AI to generate unique, aesthetically integrated QR codes or YouTube icon graphics directly onto the sleeve of the jersey.
So they are not just using generative AI to create pretty static pictures. They are using it to engineer functional cross-platform funnels.
Exactly.
They're prompting the AI to design physical clothing that inherently links to a digital destination. That requires a deep understanding of how physical consumers interact with wearable tech.
Exactly. But it goes way deeper than the physical design phase. Phase 2 of the university project is all about mastering the YouTube recommendation algorithm.
The algorithm, the holy grail.
They have to act as high-level SEO, search engine optimization experts. The UCD1112 brief instructs them to use large language models, specifically ChatGPT and Claude, to plan a comprehensive SEO strategy for their channel. They can't just guess what might go viral.
No, you can't leave it to chance.
Right. They have to use the AI to generate 5 distinct, highly optimized video title options. They have to write a dense 4,000-character video description packed with strategic keywords. They must generate 15 specific hashtags and 15 video tags and plan out algorithmic timestamps.
What is fascinating here from a pedagogical standpoint is how they are interacting with the AI. They are having to understand how natural language processing, NLP, actually works.
Right, the behind-the-scenes stuff.
NLP is how Google and YouTube search engines read, understand, and index text metadata. To use an AI like Claude to write a YouTube description, the student has to understand exactly what the YouTube algorithm is looking for.
They're reverse engineering it.
They are literally using one AI language model to hack the indexing parameters of another AI algorithm to maximize click-through rate and push their smart vision channel to external audiences. They are learning the machine language of modern marketing.
And it doesn't stop at visuals and text. We talked about those high-octane video edits and the kinetic motion channel pillars. Those videos need soundtracks.
Oh, of course, the audio landscape.
They need audio that matches the adrenaline of the visuals. The students are required to use Suno AI, which is an audio generation model, to produce original, high-energy pop rock and hip-hop theme songs for their content. But the academic rigor introduced by the lecturers here is amazing. They don't just let the students type, make a fast hip-hop song and hit enter.
I would hope not.
Each student is required to generate one set of lyrics and style parameters using Google's Gemini, and a completely separate set using OpenAI's ChatGPT.
Ah, a comparative analysis of large language models.
Exactly. They have to analyze and compare both results to understand which lyrical architecture is the most nuanced, meaningful, and structurally sound before they input the winning prompt into Suno AI to generate the actual audio track.
That is a phenomenal exercise in prompt engineering and critical analysis. It highlights the fact that not all AI models think the same way.
Right, they all have their quirks.
Gemini might structure a lyrical cadence differently, perhaps focusing on internal rhyme schemes, whereas ChatGPT might default to a standard AABB rhyming structure. By forcing the students to evaluate the output of competing language models against each other, the lecturers are teaching them that AI is a collaborative tool that requires human curation to achieve the optimal creative asset.
Just think about the scale of this for a moment. Imagine doing this for a final exam. Think back to a standard university experience.
Oh, it was nothing like this.
Instead of sitting in a quiet lecture hall, writing a 20-page theoretical paper on the future of digital media, these students are literally given 4 weeks to generate a futuristic apparel brand, conceptualize the psychological archetypes, design the physical clothes, generate the SEO metadata, produce original theme music, and launch a potentially viral media network.
It's Staggering.
And they have to edit all of this together into a cohesive 10 to 20-minute presentation video in 1080p, upload it to YouTube, and prove that their SEO strategy actually works using real-time analytics tools like vidIQ. The hands-on application is just dizzying.
It is deeply impressive, and it perfectly encapsulates the reality of modern commerce. What this Unisol project brief demonstrates is that generative AI is no longer just a novelty, a parlor trick, or, a way to cheat on an essay.
Right.
It is the fundamental foundational infrastructure for modern design, marketing, search engine indexing, and audio branding. If you want to launch a brand, a company, or a media network today, this is the toolkit. This is the new required literacy for the digital age.
It absolutely is the new literacy.
Yeah.
But with all this immense generative AI power at the student's fingertips, the fact that a student can conjure an entire anime cinematic universe, a bespoke fashion line, and a pop rock anthem from a laptop in their dorm room, it brings us to a massive hurdle in the real world.
Oh, yes. The ethical dilemma.
Exactly. And the UCD1112 brief doesn't shy away from it. In fact, they make it the final, crucial phase of the Unisol project. Ethics.
Which is absolutely essential. The ethical frontier of wearable media and AI generation is arguably the most complex and legally perilous part of this entire endeavor. You can generate a brilliant song, but if you don't own the rights to the data it was trained on, your entire digital ecosystem can be erased overnight.
And the course mandate addresses that directly. As digital entrepreneurs, these students must comply with business ethics and the established rules of the digital community. First and foremost, they have to navigate the murky waters of copyright.
Which is incredibly complicated right now.
It really is. They have an absolute mandate to ensure that all music, all voice generations, and all visual elements used on their Dream Smart Vision channel are entirely free from copyright claims or platform strikes.
Which is a very real minefield. When using tools that are inherently trained on vast scraping data sets of existing human art, music, and photography, the risk of generating something that infringes on a copyright is high.
Very high.
The students have to know how to creatively prompt the AI to generate something truly original and transformative, not just something heavily derivative that will get their channel instantly demonetized or taken down by YouTube's automated copyright bots.
Right. And speaking of YouTube's bots, there is the platform compliance side of things. YouTube has very strict and constantly evolving platform policies regarding altered or AI-generated content.
Yes, the new labeling rules.
Yeah. The Unisol students are required to evaluate whether their promotional videos, cinematic trailers, and music videos require the official YouTube altered content label in strict accordance with the latest platform guidelines.
That is an issue of digital trust and algorithmic transparency. Platforms like YouTube are under immense pressure to ensure viewers know when they're looking at synthetic media versus reality.
People want to know it's real.
Exactly. By forcing the students to engage with the altered content labeling system, they are teaching them to respect the transparency laws of the platform they are trying to dominate. You cannot build a sustainable brand if you are constantly trying to deceive the platform's safety algorithms.
And to ensure academic integrity within the university itself, the brief requires a transparent appendix log detailing every single piece of AI software and every prompt used to complete the project.
A digital paper trail.
Yes, exactly. They have to prove their digital paper trail. They have to demonstrate that they use the tools as powerful assistants to execute a vision, not just as a cheat code to bypass the hard work. So what does this all mean for us, for you, listening to this deep dive?
This raises an important question about the future of digital entrepreneurship. It is one thing to have the technical knowledge of how to generate incredible art, edit cinematic videos, and write optimized code.
Right. Anyone can learn that now.
Exactly. As we've seen, those tools are increasingly democratized and accessible to anyone. But that raw generative power must be balanced with a responsible, ethical attitude and a deep understanding of platform governance.
It's about responsibility.
Yes. The Unisol project brief is visionary because it perfectly prepares these students for a world where AI is ubiquitous. In the smart dream era, the technology can rapidly build the universe, but human accountability, ethical foresight, and strategic psychological intent remain absolutely paramount.
The human element is still key.
Always. The AI did not decide to capture the main character energy of the anime subculture to sell football jerseys. A human student made that strategic connection. The AI merely executed the vision at scale.
Wow. That perfectly sums up the journey we've just been on. We started today by looking at what we thought was just a wildly innovative, multi-million-dollar apparel brand. We explored the stunning physical identities and the deep psychological archetypes of the Veritas FC matrix.
From the challenger to the emperor to the ancestor.
Yeah, the global ambition of the World Cup kit, the monumental, dominating presence of the pyramid obsidian design, and the kinetic, visceral storytelling woven into the Kazuma 10 anime jersey.
All brilliant concepts.
We broke down how those physical threads were specifically engineered to explode into 4K visual storytelling on the Smart Dreams, Smart Vision YouTube channel, creating this relentless, self-sustaining loop of physical desire and digital engagement.
The ultimate phygital loop.
And then we pulled back the curtain to reveal that this entire breathtaking phygital ecosystem was orchestrated by the brilliant application of generative AI by university students at UNISL. It is a stunning testament to where technology is taking us and just how fast we are getting there.
It is a remarkable case study in the convergence of fashion, media, and artificial intelligence.
It really is. The big takeaway for you today is this. We are officially entering an era where apparel is no longer just fabric meant for pure utility. It is an active storytelling canvas. And the barrier to entry to participate in this revolution has been completely shattered.
The gates are open.
The technology now exists that allows anyone, even a group of university students with a bold vision, a laptop, and an internet connection, to build a global, phygital brand ecosystem that rivals the biggest corporations on Earth.
It is an incredibly empowering thought. And I'll leave you with this final provocation to mull over as you go about your day.
Okay, let's hear it.
We have spent this time seeing how the smart dream ecosystem turns a specific aesthetic, like motorsport speed or anime energy, into a wearable broadcast media experience. If every piece of clothing you currently own could instantly broadcast its own dedicated digital channel to the world, what genre of story would your current outfit be telling right now?
Oh, I love that question. I think a lot of people are going to look down and realize their outfit is broadcasting a very boring, low-budget documentary right now.
Oh, absolutely.
It might be time for all of us to upgrade to main character energy. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep learning, stay curious, and whatever you're building out there, keep chasing your own smart dreams. We will catch you on the next one.
Raise your flags, raise your hands. Welcome to the World Cup. Boots, 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 boots. The whistle blows, the game begins. Every dream is here to win. The crowd is loud, the stadium shakes. Every pass is what it takes. Boots on grass, the ball will fly. Every fan will reach the sky. One world, one dream tonight. Football brings us all the light. Every country, every team, every player has one dream. Fight together, never fall. Football is for one and all. World Cup, sing it loud. We are one big crowd. World Cup, feel the fire. Take your dreams a little higher. Oh, we believe. Never stop and never leave. One ball, one goal, one dream, one soul. World Cup, World Cup, World Cup. Kick the ball, score the goal, goal. Everybody sing! The captain runs with all his heart. Every match is a brand new start. The goalkeeper makes the save. The crowd is loud, the fans all wave. Pass the ball from side to side. Every nation feels the pride. Every tackle, every run. Football joins everyone. Children laugh and sing aloud. Adults cheer inside the crowd. Every family stands as one until the final match is won. Red flags flying in the air. Football love is everywhere. Blue flags shining in the light. Every fan is full of pride. Green and yellow, black and white. Every color looks so bright. One stadium, one big song. Together we are loud and strong. World Cup, raise your voice. Football is our greatest choice. World Cup, shout with me. Together we are wild and free. Sing tonight under all the shining lights. Every country, every fan. Together we are proudly stand. One we, one team, one world, one family. World Cup, forever. Go, go, go. Kick the ball, score the goal. The crowd is singing.